Hello! Today we're going to be doing something a little new. I want to do a nice little sponge painting in my abstract art style. I'm going to do this one primarily in black and white. I haven't done one in those colors yet, and I'm really curious to see how it turns out. I'm going to use black, white, and just a tiny smidge of yellow. We're going to just see how this turns out. My brother actually suggested this back when we were doing craft shows and he saw my work. He suggested I do a black and white painting, so I figured this week would be like the perfect time to complete the painting. And I'm gonna gift it to him after it's all said and done. So I'm excited. I love sponge painting because you can get really spacey results. And just a little bit of yellow. I think I'm going to do one big cloud with some smaller clouds in there. I've never done black and gray. I'm really curious. Just a little dab, dab, dab. A little bit of white. Really pull it through. A little bit right here. It's going to be kind of like a night sky. It'll be quite lovely. Some more right here. Probably end up doing some dry brushing techniques as well in here. Alright. It's always tough to know if you're getting the results you want out of this. And you just kind of have to keep working, even once your art gets through that awkward middle stage. Because some of my best pieces, I kept working and it ended up turning out quite nicely after the fact. It's just so nice to paint. Some black throughout here. Maybe a small bit here. Don't want these clouds getting lonely. Ooh. I quite like how sponge painting feels. I tend to ruin sponges. I feel awful. I should take better care of my art supplies, but I always get so carried away with the painting that I forget that you have to wash the paint out, and then I come back hours later and realize, oh geez, this poor thing. But, I mean, it is what it is. It's all about the process. Some darks here. And then I got a toothbrush here. It's a surprise tool. You can also, you don't need a sponge to paint like this. I just prefer sponges. Add a tiny bit of yellow to highlight. Sorry, I'm a little congested. It's the season. Then we're gonna add a little white here. I want a nice highlight up here. And you can always do this with any color, really. That's what's beautiful about this style of painting is you're not really restricted. You're pretty free to do colors. I might do more painting videos like this, just as quick videos when I have less time. Alright, now I'm gonna try. Oh, wow. Okay. That is one stiff boy. We'll let him soak in there. I have a tendency to forget to wash out my brushes, or at least brushes like that. Yeah, you don't need a sponge to get this effect. I personally love using sponges. You gotta be careful with overworking, especially when you have a lot of paint on the canvas, because if you overwork it, it'll, especially with blacks and grays like I'm doing right now, the colors will blend into one another, and you will cut in all of the contrast, and the lovely colors will get muted, and it'll turn into one consistent gray blob. And I don't know if this painting is going to turn out the way I want it to. But that's one of the joys of painting. It's more about the act than the actual final result. Let's see. We have some splatters. 1 second. I will be back and see if I can find another toothbrush. Most excellent. I found one. So I'm going to show you how I do my splatter painting technique. We're going to need to wet the brush. And then you want the water to be a little wet, but you don't want it to be super watery. And then just take the paint and flick it. I love splatter painting. It just adds a flavor to your art that traditional painting techniques can't. I know there's most definitely techniques out there that aren't as messy as this one. I actually learned this somewhere in high school when I was taking an art class. I don't remember where or how, but I learned about this method of splatter painting. And once this dries up a little, we're going to oh, that's perfect. Some smears. I'm always conflicted with these style paintings. Am I overworking the canvas? Am I overworking the medium? Or am I doing just the right amount? I mean, I could probably paint this same painting all day and never truly be 100% satisfied. But it definitely turns out cool. I think it needs a little more black. Some nice voids to balance out where we have a large cluster of stars. Whoops. Painting with me is always an event. And of course I end up wearing a ton of the medium. But that's not a bad thing, inherently. A little more white. We're definitely getting a good, I feel like we're getting somewhere with this. It's kind of a nice wintry kind of thing with the clouds. Gonna add a little light here. My brush is a little wet, but that's okay. It's always nice to have just some time to sit and quietly paint. I'll definitely add some background music to this video. Let's... Oh wow, okay, that I'm really liking. Pull in the lights, contrast it with the darks. This is turning out really nicely. For a little bit, you could have probably heard that from the tone of my voice that I wasn't 100% behind how this painting was turning out, and that is okay. Every piece of artwork is gonna have its awkward teenage phase. It's gonna be moody, it's gonna not look exactly how you want it, and that's completely normal and part of the process. But if you keep going and stick with it, give it the time it needs and deserves, you'll be surprised with what you get. Alright, let's give that a nice dry brushing technique after. Oh, let me, thinking. Why not give it a little wispy effect? That's what I love about abstracts. There's no rules. Well, there probably are. Actually, there probably is rules. But you can make whatever you want, however you want. And no one can tell you otherwise. I love that. I think I'm going to call this one done. I really like how it turned out. Nice contrast. It kind of reminds me of a cold winter's night, where the clouds are backed by the stars and the moon. Definitely like how this one turned out. If you like this and tried following along, I used a pre-painted. I took a canvas, painted it black, and used a combination of what the tools you saw. You don't have to use a toothbrush. There are definitely other techniques for doing splatter painting. This is just the technique I learned and prefer. If whoever sees this likes this, I will be more than happy to do some more paintings for everyone. Well, if you're made it this far, have a good night and keep painting.